Renegades. This is a tactical RPG roguelite. This one really is deserving of the roguelite moniker because not only do you lose the game when you die, but it does have a form of meta progression, and the items that you find along the way, they can be random, as well as the encounters themselves. So they're really attempting to turn a tactical RPG, along with this interrupt system that they have with this game, into roguelite. The other main appeal of Star Renegades is the graphical style. Not so much like with this cutscene that you see in the beginning, but in the game itself it has this retro bit style sort of a thing, but with modern effects implemented very well, along with excellent music. It makes it very attractive. They did a good job of integrating the story with the roguelite genre. I like it when they do this. Spelunky does this too, where you're in this cave that you're constantly reincarnated. How they do it with this one is you have the Imperium Empire that is conquering not only the galaxy, but also alternate realities or dimensions. So the scientist from one of these dimensions that's being conquered sends this robot over to this group, telling them to, trying to help them defend from their particular reality. And then you fail, and then the story moves on to, well, let's try in this one. And then it goes on and on from there. So I like the integration of the story into the game. The question is, how does the roguelite part work? Turn-based with no real-time battle system. Instead, what you have is it will give you a preview based upon the move that you pick, how it will theoretically affect the outcome of the battle. This doesn't always play out in a particular way because there is some randomization with if you're attacking, how it results. But the goal, though, is to interrupt the combat turn of each of the enemies. The tutorial shows this very well. You got to really take your time. This isn't a usual genre. It's kind of like Grandia. The most recent game I played was like Child of Light, which is a real-time battle system, but it has that interrupt system as well. So that's the goal of it, and you have the 3 characters in the beginning, and then you add more as you complete each kind of section type of a world. There's an overworld map to integrate more of the roguelite aspects. You have so many charges in your little robot guy. You go from place to place. You get a preview of, you get to see if there's an item there that you may need. It's not going to tell you what it is, but it could be a level that you need to upgrade your character to later. That gives you an idea of which path you want to go. You can scan around the map and see everything. You start off with the girl in the pseudo mech suit kind of a thing, robot guy, and the Han Solo gun blaster sort of a character. And there's more to unlock. There is a meta progression system, not only with the characters, but also different weapons and items that can randomly pop up. But you have your 3 base characters, and there's elements from other games like Darkest Dungeon. In a more basic form, you have a campfire sequence. When you're out of your 3 charges in the overmap, you have a campfire, and then you can decide some buffs to add each character. One additional thing, though, is you can build up relationships which give you other added benefits depending on which character is a companion with which other character. And each of these items have different amount of charges that are required. After you do inevitably lose, though, you go to this small town, and the items that you've collected, you can see that in the upper left there, you're able to unlock various items, as well as I mentioned before, characters that you can jump into a game once more. Difference being, though, is, the lack of difference is you still have the 3 characters. You're limited to just those 3 slots. And the mystery ones, as is in tradition with these type of games, you have the question marks. You don't know which ones, what they're going to be. Classes, though, are pretty broad. You can see the graded rating there in the bottom left. There is quite a variety here, and also the placement of each of them. You can have some in the front, you can have some in the back, and a nice biography. There's enough lore here, as well as variety of each, and then over time you learn more. You know how they're going to pair. You can theoretically guess, well, I want this guy to pair with this guy with these particular abilities. I really wanted to like Star Renegades, but it is too repetitive. And what I mean by that is not only you're doing the same thing, it's a video game, you're doing it in the same way with little deviations, since it is turn-based, fighting the same enemies, and the background that you're in, that you're going to be spending a lot of time in the first chunk of the game. Even if you get farther, I suspect that same type of thing is going to happen. Even adding more characters, it would help with variety-wise. You have more options, but that first chunk that you're playing, I played it up to the first big boss, like the third map, and each playthrough felt very similar, even when I mixed the characters up. I think that's going to be how it's going to be for most people getting through Game Pass or otherwise buying it. So, if you like this video, give it a like, subscribe if you really liked it. If you dislike, give it a dislike. Check out the link below picking up through Game Pass, and I'll see you next time.